Yo, it's almost hitting my stop loss. Can you see that? That is. Oh, it has to get to it. Oh, it has to get to it. $500. That was nice. We are back, and let me tell you, the energy on the charts is buzzing right now. You know how it is. Tariffs are hitting and the market is going absolutely bonkers. But guess what? Yesterday was totally different. I snagged a clean $500 move on the Nasdaq, and I'm about to break it down for you guys. We are going to dissect this trade and figure out how we should navigate the market that is going absolutely crazy like this, so that you can also capitalize on these beautiful moves. But first, I gotta say, you guys are amazing. Honestly, all of those get well soon messages, I made sure to read and respond to each and every single one of those. Oh, thank you. I am feeling way better, and I am ready to jump on to these charts and get back in the game and bring that fire content as usual. And if you're new here, just finding the channel for the first time, welcome. We trade the Nasdaq over here. If you're returning, welcome back here. You know what's up. Don't forget to hit that like button, turn your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. All right, let's rewind now to yesterday and talk about the setup and the entry, the exit, most importantly what we learned from the crazy $500 move, right? So let's pull up these charts. But first, what actually even brought us to all of that? Monday was absolutely wild. Now, I don't trade on Mondays. Tell me why I did that. I always say that Mondays are trap days. I always lose trade on Mondays. I don't even know what to say, but the setup was absolutely lovely. I saw a killer setup on both Nasdaq and US30 on a Monday. It was too good to be true. I shared the setup with the entire free group. You guys would definitely want to check that out. If you haven't already, the link is in the description below. It was a classic breakout play, one of my favorite setups. We had the market breaking out of a key resistance zone. Now, normally these setups are simple money. If you see such a setup, you just know that you have to go in for the breakout. This was an absolutely easy trade, right? So you would expect a strong push straight to the top, easy profit, right? And as you can see, I jumped right in. We did get a nice initial push here. We locked in our first take profit, 70 80 pips thereabout. But then that's when things got crazy. Normally on a normal day, this was supposed to just drop as a little retest, and then the market goes up, and then eventually hits all of our target. But then tariffs, fundamentals, straight up, market reversed, market flipped on us, and then a brutal drop. As you can see, now here's a lesson that I learned here. In this crazy market, you cannot get greedy. You gotta protect those gains by all costs, right? So Tuesday, which is yesterday, I applied that thought process. So every time I was now hitting, let's say $100, my stop loss, I take it, I move it in, and then I lock in the profits. I'll break down the whole strategy later, but I wanted to share that mindset shift with all of you guys. So tariffs. We are technical traders, but we should also understand the fundamentals, right? The reason why all of this is happening. Because I had one person asking me that, why is Nasdaq or US30 dropping like this? Is it just a pullback so that it goes up, or the market is reversing? You need to understand what is happening in the market at all times. So tariffs, they're just tax on stuff that come into the country from other places, right? So when those tax go up, it makes everything else expensive. Just think about it. Businesses have to now pay more for the things that they need, and then they just pass all of these costs on to the people that are buying, right? And you start seeing prices shooting up. And here is the kicker: it also causes a lot of uncertainty in the market, and investors, they do not like when the market is uncertain. They don't know what's going to happen. And if one country gives tariffs, another country wants to also put tariffs on them, and then that's why we start that thing called trade war, and the market absolutely hates that. So when they hit, it's not just a general thing, it hits certain sectors really hard. Like for us, the Nasdaq, US30, you saw the market dropping like crazy on Monday. Even yesterday it was dropping. Today is a little bit up. Today is a Wednesday, and it's a little bit up. We can see a nice bullish push here. But then things like Nasdaq, they sell their tech things all over the world, and the tariffs, they mess all of those things up, big time. You see US30, the big industrial company, they need steel, they need certain parts of things, and all of these tariffs, they just make all of these things expensive, right? And that is into their profits. And the investors that are invested in these companies, they get scared and then they pull out, they start selling off their stock. So the biggest thing here is the uncertainty in the market. So when there are tariffs, no one really knows how this market is eventually going to play out. And when investors sense uncertainty, they see that, they don't know what's going to happen. They bail out, they take off their stocks, and this is what drives the market down. It drops, and that's why you saw on Monday yesterday that the market was reacting like this. And honestly, when there is uncertainty in the market, I always like to see an opportunity, right? But you have to be careful because with the volatility, things can go either way in this market. That's enough of a little bit of knowledge on the tariffs and stuff. Right now, let's go on to the Nasdaq trade and let's just see. So I also shared this trade in the free group. It was a pretty straightforward trade, right? And I did make the whole analysis on Sunday, and generally everything we were looking for, the market dropped into our points of interest. So we were looking at a key point of interest on the weekly time frame this time around. I had to draw a whole new trend line on the weekly time frame, and check this out, a simple trend line combined with a resistance zone, right? See, now the market approached the area, but the twist is it didn't actually hit the trend line. As you can see, it reacted off a smaller point of interest, a minor resistance level right here. So do you see how the sellers at this point had tried to sell the market before, and then they just dropped the market with just 2 candlesticks, and they could not keep dropping the market. And then the buyers stepped in decisively here. You can see where the price action, and then they bounced back. So that's what I call a swing point. Sellers lost momentum, buyers stepped in, and when the market returned to that swing point, I saw an opportunity. I knew I hadn't fully, reached the bigger trend line on the daily, on the weekly time frame, but I was looking for a quick trade, not a long-term trade. So when you're trading, you need to understand what you're looking for, what kind of trade you're going in for. I was not in for a long-term hold, and that's where my edge was. So I took the trade using a simple, reversal strategy that you can see right here. And look at this. I shared this in the free group. Also remember, guys, it was a sniper entry right at the point of interest. The market just shot up and we hit 500 pips. Now, this is how I manage the trade, which is what is really important. I used what I call the trailing stop loss strategy. You can actually apply that, when you're also trading or scalping. So as soon as we hit $500 in profit, I, moved my stop loss to $300. And then when we hit $600, I locked in to $400. And that's my trailing, profit strategy, securing the gains as we go, because that's when we still have the momentum. I want to catch it right at that spot. So if we kept pushing higher, I would have kept moving up with the stop loss, but we topped up around $700 before it reversed. It didn't hit $800, and then it reversed, taking me out at $500 profit, which was still a really nice win. And look, even today, which is a Wednesday, you can clearly see that we are still playing around that 700 level, which is 2450 thereabout, and the market is currently dropping, reversing, and I already secured $500 for yesterday, and today I'm ready to go in for a new trade. So nothing much has actually changed in the market from yesterday and the trade that I took. I still expect an upward move. As you can see, my profit target is still at the top there. We are seeing a decisive buyer action here on the daily time frame, a nice bullish candle that we have. But let us be real, with all these tariffs and market uncertainty, right, there's always going to be noise in the market. That's why I'm sticking to that trailing profit strategy, especially in this wild west market. And my target, as you can see, is just the highs, waiting for all the all-time highs, and let's just say maybe the first resistance levels that we have, 21,200. If we see a break there, then probably we can see a continued push, but this is a long-term trade in overall. So I'm waiting to see if we can launch back up there, but for now, that's simply what I am looking at on the Nasdaq. Now, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button, turn your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. You feel me? With that, it's been Tina, and I'll see you guys in the next lit video. Love you guys.